Hey everyone, today we are pulling up on this culvert right here which has a big blockage inside it. So this big hump in the road has a pretty big pipe. There's elevated water levels there to the right. This pipe here I believe is a 6 foot, maybe 8 foot diameter pipe. Pretty big, easy working space. And right here you see the road's a bit soft. When it rains, water's obviously crossing right here. But it's a very big beaver swamp. The water continues all the way down here. There's some water here spilling out onto the road. There's water right here crossing the road due to the pipe being blocked all the way back there. There's a steady trickle of water right here. Right here it looks like a very tiny plastic culvert pipe, 12-inch. Is crushed inside the road. More water crossing. More water crossing here. Let's find a spot to turn around and go take a look at the actual culvert pipe. Alright everyone, we're taking a look at the area before we start draining it. It's a large grassy area flooded with water. Flooding out here into the road. Over here is a beaver lodge, but it doesn't look very active. It actually looks like it's collapsed and started falling apart over the years. We're going to take a look up here at where it's crossing the road just to get some before and after shots before we go in the pipe and start removing the beaver dam. Got some lily pads. I can tell by the grass that this water is recently elevated, meaning in the spring it wasn't this high. The beavers want their water higher, so you see they're building a little beaver dam going all along the road. There's a bit of water here crossing the road, a good trickle. There's also a culvert pipe right here. Looks like a smaller 12-inch pipe going diagonal for some reason. Crushed, not really operable anymore. Down here there's a bit more water crossing over the road. All right everyone, we're right above the pipe right now, and we got to go down and take a look at it. So it's a very big pipe. You see the water levels inside it it's about halfway full because there's a beaver dam in it. And when we get down on it, take a look at where the beaver dam is. It's all the way at the other side. Usually beavers plug up the entrance of these pipes, but this time they built it inside the pipe towards the end, which is a little bit strange because if the pipe is actually angled correctly, it means they had to make a bigger dam than necessary to hold the water pressure. They had to make the dam bigger, and it also doesn't have as much grip since it's inside the pipe instead of on the very end of it where they could put stuff holding onto the pipe. So here's the other end. You can tell it hasn't flowed in a while. Look at all those swamp oils right there floating on the surface of the water. There's a lot of horse flies. It looks like right there's another beaver dam keeping all this water being kind of stagnant. And all right everyone, here's what the inside of the culvert looks like. We're going to start draining it. As you see, the inside of the pipe is just about halfway full. And just standing here, setting the camera up, we already have a friend. Look at that on my shoe. A leech got attracted over to me. I splashed around in the water. It's holding on tight. It's not coming off. All right, we're going to try to get this thing going. All right, everyone. Here we go with camera number 2. Woo! All right, we got to start ripping apart, just pulling out some of these keystone sticks before we can really rake anything. Part of this beaver dam seems like it's years old. The logs are actually rotten. I'm thinking the logging company may have actually unclogged this thing years ago. And when they unclogged it, the giant ball of debris got stuck down here on the excavator damage. That might be why the beavers decided to add to it and why the whole dam is down here. Kind of stinky in here. Lots of flies. And my boots are flooded. As soon as I stepped off it, the dam failed. My boots are flooded, so might as well go back in since I'm already soaked. Whoa. Dam is just about gone. Wow. Can I even get back in with that current? Got some kind of metal wire. Now that the bug spray is off, leave the mosquitoes just starting to death. I don't know if I can get back in there. Just about gone, the dam is maybe 10% left. That's what's creating that ripple in the water. Just failed. I don't think I had to come back in here. No, it's still there. I'm the one backing up the current. I can't believe I'm fighting this much water. Oh my gosh, there's another leech. I gotta check for leeches after in my big boots. The water coming in from the beaver pond is warm. When I started, it was cold. Because it was in a shaded pipe. Look at that leech. There's random objects hitting me. That's getting sucked in from the pond. Alright, the beaver dam is 100% gone. Now I gotta try to get out of here without getting knocked over. Ooh. And my boots are flooding. Now listen to those rocks come out. That was a really fun one. All right, everyone. My boots are flooded, but that was worth it. That was a lot of fun. I was standing on top of the beaver dam just waiting for it to slip with me riding it. But it waited until I jumped off it, then it failed. I'm surprised I was able to fight that amount of current. But it's a corrugated culvert. Got some traction. I'm probably going to find a leech on myself somewhere later on tonight. Oh, there's a lot of leeches in this pipe. Oh, there's a spider on me too, right there. Let's let that drip dry for a minute. The water in there was very cold when I started. Now it feels like bath water because we're draining a stagnant beaver pond that was sitting in the sun. And that's a big beaver pond. This will rage like this for hours. And it's raging so much that beavers won't be able to clog it back up until the pond drains because they'll get sucked through it. I have videos of beavers on trail cameras trying to build back. They get a little something, then it washes out because there's too much current. This is so much water compared to what you saw down there trickling over the road. So once this is drained, it will take probably weeks for that pond to fill back up. Just letting these drip dry for a few minutes, then I'll show you guys some before and afters. All right, everyone, I'm just gonna walk around in socks for a little bit and drip dry. Let these things drip out a little bit. Hopefully we can get them dry by tomorrow. So this area downstream filled up quite a bunch because there's a beaver dam right there. I think I zoomed in on that earlier to show you guys. Here's what it looked like before. And here's what it looks like after. A big difference. Looking down here at the pipe, wow. Here's what it looked like before. And here's what it looks like after. That is a ton of current. Let's go back down here for a moment. So, when I first found this pipe, this culvert was almost too hot to touch sitting in the sun. Now it's starting to get shady out. The sun's starting to set. Here's what the end of the pipe looked like before. And here's what it looks like after. A really big improvement. We got that thing 100% open, and the water pressure really helped tear it apart. I didn't think it was going to be as easy as it was. That water pressure really helped. So what I strongly believe happened was, years ago, the logging company brought an excavator out, removed the beaver dam at the beginning where it typically is. It slid through the pipe, got stuck on the excavator damage here, a bunch of debris, so the beavers decided to reinforce it, and that's why the dam is down here, I believe. So, some of that material was old enough to be rotten, and some of it was very new, a couple days new, maybe even today new. The stuff on the very top, and there was so much mud built up in there. You saw it when I started current. A bunch of random blobs of mud started going over the dam. That was really cool to see. There was so much mud in there. The whole thing was silted up. Wow, there's already a difference in drop across the swamp. Wow, look at that. Huge difference already, and it's only been a half hour. Here's what it looked like before. And here's what it looks like now. Big improvement. Let's go back out there to the pipe where I can see this powerful culvert sucking over anything in its path. The current has definitely already slowed down since we started based on losing already a foot of water. Look at all the things getting sucked over to it. You can hear little pebbles along the ground getting sucked in. Look at all the slime getting sucked in. There's loose pieces of grass getting sucked in. Big vortex. Here's what the entrance looked like before. And here's what it looks like now. Real powerful. Look on inside. Here's what the inside of the culvert from this angle looked like before. And here's what it looks like now. Awesome. Really, really awesome. We're gonna wait around here for about an hour or so, let it drop back even more, show you a few before and after shots of the swamp draining back. Right here next to where I'm parked, you can see that's kind of muddy and wet. When it rains, it crosses in so many locations. We're gonna walk down there. Look at this, my shadows are getting long. Sun's going down. But it won't be dark for nearly another 3 hours. I can already see way down there starting to dry up. Oh wow. I hear water trickling. This drainage ditch is getting a little higher because this side is just getting higher, but what am I hearing? Oh wow, the water in the drainage ditch is trickling so fast from this other swamp. All the water's being diverted down there. I hear it trickling here. I'm pretty sure there's another beaver dam in the drainage ditch that the logging company is going to have to get. But this will definitely get everything off the road. Yep. Not much of a beaver dam. Not much. And it looks like our current that's literally being ripped apart right now by our current. Well, looks like I should get the big high boots on and remove that thing too. Then we'll come down here and do some before and after shots. This will get off the road a bit better if we can get that out of the drainage ditch a little bit better. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this little dam, knock it down so water can get off the road. Alrighty. That'll get that to drain back another 2 feet over on this other side through that culvert. Get everything nicely off the road. I'm gonna go take a break for like a half hour before we come back out and take a look. This area has a lot of bear poops in the road. Must have seen at least 50 of them driving around today. So this area here, we're not gonna really notice any drop until the culvert starts dropping in capacity. We just added a bunch of water to it. Yeah, wow, gotta go watch this. The line of debris coming down here from what we just unclogged. Now the sun's starting to go down. This area's got something worse than the horseflies. Got no-see-ums. Yep, look at this. Here's a line of stuff coming down from what we just unclogged up there. Oh, bad horsefly. Yep, this is a bunch of stuff we just stirred up. There's a couple sticks. Good. It's all gonna go and pass through so the beavers can't use this stuff. If you throw it up on the side, beavers don't reuse it. But if it's in the water, it's convenient. There it goes. Being sucked on through. We only dropped a foot. And this culvert still has 2 feet of water going through it. And you saw that little trickle that was crossing the road earlier. It'll reduce to that in this pipe eventually, once everything is drained. Look at this big thing. Get that big thing to go through there. Wow, look at the current. Look at it sucking it. Whoa. Look how it just turned it. Oh, there it goes. It's going so fast. We're not even going to try to race that. But now everything that was actually crossing the road will be able to drain back. Look at the clouds in the water too. Clean water, dirty water. This will clear up probably in the next 20 minutes. It's just dirty from what we just did. Had to remove that drainage ditch dam because that's actually what was pretty much flooding the road. But us draining this. Oh, a little snake. It's a garter snake right there. Flowing good. We accelerated the flow a little bit at the moment. All right, everyone. A little while longer. This part of the swamp only has about a 4-inch water level drop. The water levels have dropped enough that it has almost completely stopped going across the road. Here's what it looked like before. And here's what it looks like now. Over here, we got some bear tracks in the road along with some moose. This little dam here you can see is now probably 10 inches below capacity. Only dropped about 4 inches from where it was. Here's what it looked like before. And here's what it looks like now. Just a teeny little trickle from what there was before. Up here by the culvert pipe. Teeny little trickle. It'll eventually completely stop. Here's what it looked like before. And here's what it looks like now. Up here, just puddles, barely trickling anymore. Eventually that'll all sink into the ground and dry up. Here's what it looked like before. And here's what it looks like now. This will take probably all night to drain back. This swamp appears to be much bigger, draining a lot slower. I imagine all this cattail and water grass has water across this whole area. Take a little bit for it to drop back to normal. There's a little fish in this puddle. It's going to become bird food. Right across the road from where we removed that. Now over here, there's another beaver dam at capacity. That's kind of backing up back there to the pipe we just unclogged. All right, everyone, we're at the culvert. It's been about an hour. Now I'd say 18 inches of drop have occurred. Eventually another 2 feet of drop will occur, but the water has to stop coming in first. It's still very powerful. I can hear rocks still tumbling. Let's see if we throw a rock in, if it's powerful enough to make this roll. This one's a bit heavy, but we'll try it. Let's see if that'll roll through the pipe. It rolled a little bit. Actually, it's still rolling. I can feel the vibrations. Oh, there it goes. That water's powerful. That rock rolled all the way out through the pipe. All right, everyone, it's been 2 hours later. Everything on the road's dried up. We'll be back first thing in the morning after the water levels have drawn down even further. The puddles on the road have almost completely gone away. Got the big flashlight right now. Oh my gosh, look at the amount of bugs. Wow. Over here you can tell lots of current was coming through. All the grass is pushed over. But there's ripples in the water. Any sign of the beavers? That's what we're looking for. Over here where that lodge is. Don't really see any sign of them, but we'll know in the morning. Hear that? What kind of bird's that? Look at this, everyone. Got some bunny rabbits. Oh, one of them just ran off. Good morning, everyone. We're back 14 hours later to take a look at the water level drop, and it's a whole bunch. As soon as I got out of the vehicle and shut the door, I heard a big splash. There's an angry beaver somewhere. Let's see what they've been working on throughout the overnight. Here's downstream. The water levels have dropped back to where they were, no longer flooding. There's a bunch of our debris all stuck here. Water level dropped a bunch. It's no longer topping that dam. It's below capacity, just like when we arrived, meaning they're probably not using this anymore. There's a failure somewhere. Inside the pipe's looking good. Lots of fish. Let's see. Is there anything in the pipe? Nothing. Nothing at all. I knew as soon as there was that other dam in the drainage ditch that they probably wouldn't build back in this location. The water in the pipe is now completely stagnant. Take a look at the other side. Huge water level drop. 3 feet. Here's what it looked like yesterday before we did anything. And here's what it looks like now. A big water level drop. Over 3 feet of water has dropped. And notice the grass here. This will start bouncing back in just a few weeks. And you'll never even notice this, but I think in a few weeks the beavers might have this back up again. We'll see. Good. There's a big water level drop. And this is about where the water's supposed to be, because that grass wouldn't have started growing underneath there. The amount of it that's died back, probably been flooded a good month or so. A lot of that grass might still be alive. It's just covered in brown algae, which will crack off in the sun. But worst case scenario, the grass will just start up again from the ground. We look down here, no more extremely powerful current that could suck a rock through. Take a look at the amount of fish. There's so many fish inside this pipe. Wow. A lot of fish using this. Wow, the line of fish goes all the way through the pipe. Wow. There's so many fish in there. Okay, let's go take a walk down the road. Maybe we can find that angry beaver. Here's another angle about where I heard the beaver splash. The beaver's probably on its way back to the lodge, which is up here. It looked like from the road at least, Maybe they started rebuilding the drainage ditch dam. I'm noticing since last night a moose walked down this road. There's some very fresh tracks, and yes, look, the beavers built a dam overnight. Definitely, they built this. Wow, look how empty it is compared to yesterday. Here's what it looked like before. And here's what it looks like now. Huge difference. They definitely did a little bit of reinforcing there throughout the night. But water levels are still nice and low. And take a look at the amount of water going over the dam. That's all they have to work with. That's the same amount of water you saw crossing over the road yesterday. They'll keep adding stuff to this, patching it, and they'll get the water back up in this side maybe in just a couple of days. But the entire thing, I'd say they have to work on it at least a week. Unless we get a huge rainstorm. But this kind of thing is only preventative maintenance, buying the road time. Until the beavers are properly relocated or hunted off, this is going to be an ongoing problem for the roadway. Down here is completely dried up. Let's go take a look. Here's what this puddle looked like yesterday. And here's what it looks like now. All dried up. You can see all the moose tracks in here. Water level has receded a foot off the roadway. Take a look at those water lines. Don't see the sign of the beaver, but those sticks there in the ditch are proof there is still an active beaver, whether this is their active lodge or the active lodge is hiding somewhere out there in the grassland. We don't know. The way this is built, this looks like it's also blocking a potential culvert down here. But I go look at the other side, I don't see any evidence of it. Then there's this plastic one down here that has collapsed. Since the water's drained, that's a fresh moose track right there. More fresh moose tracks right through the mud. At least one of them, maybe possibly two moose were walking down here last night. See, very fresh. See how they kicked the sand up onto the slop. Take a look at this beaver dam. Here's what it looked like before. And here's what it looks like now. That right there is the best evidence of it dropping. Right here at this crushed garbage plastic culvert pipe. Here's what it looked like before. And here's what it looks like now. Completely dried up. The water's far away from the road. Way down here. Here's what it looked like yesterday. And here's what it looks like now. The road is all cleared up, and there won't be a water problem here until the beavers get it back up. Maybe in about a week. We're gonna hang some ribbons up to show the road crews there's an issue here, and hopefully that gets the trappers' attention to get rid of the beavers before it becomes a major issue again. All right, everyone, I hope today's video was interesting. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. Check this out. There are so many horse flies buzzing around the front of the truck, going really slow, and they think the exhaust is probably a big animal breathing. Dozens of horse flies. Hopefully we don't have to go out there for any reason.